Welcome to the Rick Helps Real Estate Show, where after a while, the little voice in your head says, why am I watching this? Good morning and welcome. Happy Monday. Welcome to the first Arizona Real Estate Market Morning Podcast, where we're going to go over current data and we're going to look at things together. And then we're just going to open up the questions and any searches you have. I want to thank the people in my control room. Wait, I don't have a control room. Boy, what happened while we were sleeping? Well, it's not, has nothing to do with real estate, but Elon Musk announced he just bought $1.5 billion of Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, I don't really understand Bitcoin, but I know it's going up like crazy. It went from 37,500 per coin to 44,000 this morning. So that's going to be an interesting number to watch. Once again, welcome. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a little bit of my morning routine when it comes to real estate, not to bore you, but to show you how I search, what I look at, and then show you how I can search for you and remind you that that I'm an EXP real estate agent in Arizona. I just moved to North Central Phoenix. I was living in Chandler, and I work the entire valley. So anywhere from Surprise down to Queen Creek, Santan, Chandler, Gilbert, Mesa, Tempe, Scottsdale, and Paradise Valley. So you name it, and Anthem. So I'm more centrally located now. It's going to make that part a lot easier. So let's dive into it, shall we? I'm going to share my screen here and we're going to dive in first thing and see how many homes are available this morning after the weekend. Our homes, we got up to 5,100 listings. That's not a big number. That's pretty dismal. I remember how shocked I was when we came to 7,900 listings available. So let's see what happened over the weekend. I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to pop this up here right now. And I'm going to go to the MLS. Now, what is the MLS? The MLS was created a long time ago as a way for agents to share listings and data, and it's an association, a collaborative per se, of agents that have a pledge of accurate data. That's probably the best way to describe it. In the old days, they would just meet at the cafe and say, hey, Clem, I got this log cabin on 40 acres for $3,000. And then another guy would say what he had and they would swap it and sell it. The MLS wants to make sure, and it's very strict, that all the data is accurate. If it isn't accurate, you get fined, because you don't want to be searching and find out it says it's a 3-bedroom when it's only a 2-bedroom. And there's a lot of data on there that has to be accurate because now it feeds everywhere. So when we populate the multiple listing service and put a listing on there, it feeds Zillow, Redfin, 200 websites. I'm not going to list them all here. So that information has to be accurate. Now, it used to be that the only way that you could see this stuff was to go into your local real estate office and they would print out what was available. The title companies would print out all the new listings and drop them off at the office, and you would go through a page. When I moved from Seattle to Southern California, that's what we did. And then we thought we were really clever when we went to the grocery store and picked up that little magazine that had all the homes listed in it. Well, now the ink doesn't even dry before that listing goes away. So it is now convenient to live in another state and see what's available in Arizona. You can go online. So the information is accurate. So here's my homepage. Some realtors have it set up different than I do, probably most. One of the first things I do is I pull up my little Excel spreadsheet here. Well, that's the second thing I do. Let me show you the first thing. I go to my quick search. I'm going to go to active listings and look at the number right here, 4,952. That's a pretty low Monday. Monday reflects all the homes that went under contract yesterday, and then they will be updated again, or Sunday, and then they will be updated again today. So this number will dip anywhere from 150 to 200 homes tomorrow. So tomorrow morning we look, I'm going to step on a ledge here and say we're going to be at like 4750, because Mondays, they accepted contracts last night. Today the agents get in and update the data and show that it's what's under contract. Now let me show you. Get a little alarming here. Let's just say we want to look at how many single family homes are available. It's only 3,534. Let's drill down to price. How many homes are available between 300,000 and 400,000 in the Phoenix Valley? 671. See these green dots? And where are they? That looks like a lot. It really does, until you drill in by neighborhood. So if you want to go to Ahwatukee down here, there's only 7 homes. You get down in Chandler, it gets kind of sparse. Sun Lakes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 homes. So there's not a lot down there. And then when you look, if I take out this price, take off single family homes. Well, actually I can leave it on, and I go to list. This is the entire valley, but it's going to show you that there's a lot of modular homes here. And it also has a reach outside of just the Phoenix Valley. So there's Douglas, Sun, Arizona. It's a pretty strong reach. So then I go to my menu here, go back to home. I pull up my Excel spreadsheet, and this is just my little thingy that I do. So I pull up and I want to see kind of what's happening. So we have new listing, 3,015. And we have 774 went back on the market. Those are homes people took off the market and said, well, I'm going to put them back on now. So we have a total of 3,789 listings in the past 7 days that came on our market. Then I look and say, okay, how many went under contract? So we had 1,469 go under contract, accepting backups. We had 89 contingencies. That means they're going to buy your house contingent on selling their own. You can see those are not real popular in this market right now. Finally, the big one is pending, 2,396. So we had 3,789 homes come on the market, 3,954 go under contract. So then I hide these columns. Excel's been kind of funky lately. It's not letting me hide the columns. It's got this big wonky delay. So I'm not going to bore you with that. Let me go over to my chart, show you what's really going on. I'm going to give it one more college try here before I dive out. Nope, not going to let me do it. So this is a very busy eye chart. So let's just concentrate on the blue line and the golden line here. So this blue line that you can see are new listings that are coming on board. And then the golden line is the number that are going on contract. So long as this line is above the blue line, then our listings are going to keep going down. So we're still getting more listings coming on a weekly basis, but they're still getting gobbled up. So that is not good news, waiting for new listings to come on. Now, the other thing I take a peek at is the Cromford report, but usually at 8:30 in the morning, it's not very updated. The only thing they're saying from Saturday is the appreciation rate for all areas and types measured by the annual change in the monthly average closing price per square foot exceeded 20% this week. Last time appreciation was over 20% was August 2013. Now I zip over to Mortgage News Daily and see if there's anything rocking our world in the mortgage industry. I don't track rates. I just kind of glance over it. That's not my wheelhouse, but I like to read the headlines and see if anything jumps up. Treasury slide, it says, expirations drive first decline of forbearance in 3 weeks. Home ownership rises despite seasonal volatility. So that's kind of what I drift towards when I'm looking at this stuff. I'm going to stop sharing the screen here, open it up to questions. So that's Terry, you're first in line. Yes, you are. Way to go. When I look in the morning, The other thing I do is I will pull up searches that I have for particular clients. So I'm going to share the screen once again, and I'm going to show you what my searches are like. They're kind of a mess. I give them certain nicknames. Um, got one in particular. I'm trying to find something for a climate or for a client. So I'll pull up Ahwatukee, Tempe, Chandler, and between 500 and 600,000. And I go through and I look and see what's new this morning because it's Monday morning. So I'm going to go through and say, okay, here's one in Kenwood Lane. It's new. It's 510,000. It doesn't match what my client's looking for. I can tell by looking at it. This one in Tempe, North Shore Drive, it might match what he's looking for. These are new construction. I know he doesn't want that. So I kind of do a little bit of a deep dive here and see what's going on. So let me look a little bit farther down. I want to look at this one here at 525. It's a new listing, and I want to see how big it is. It's 2670. It's 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, built in 72. Pretty typical for Tempe. It's been on the market 3 days. And then it gives you the showing instructions down here. It says that it's vacant. And usually you make appointments via showing time. So it says, let's look at the photos here and see what it's rocking here. Now, again, I really want to encourage you that if you're listing homes, these are beautiful HD photos. Floor's a little outdated, but put in a virtual tour so I can walk around the house and get a better feel for the floor plan. And this one doesn't have that. Not that it's a confusing floor plan, but some of them are. The other thing I look at is I go into the detail tab and I go to showing time. This tells me how popular it is. So let me look and say, okay, if I want to schedule a showing for this, oh, let's see, there's somebody set an appointment for 8:30 this morning, and there's another one at 10:15. So it's not really brisk, not really busy, but it tells me that there's some interest. Some of these, when they come up, when they're brand new listings, let's take a look at this in Chandler for 510, and I pull up showing time. What's your guess? You think it's going to be busy or not so busy? And I think it's blocked out. They're just not allowing any showings till 9:30. So that's just a little bit of the detail that I walk into when I'm looking for showings or for listings for some of my clients. It's a bit of a broad brush overview of how I look. Now we have a question here from Nick's. What's your thought on the above 800,000 marks? I'm going to do a deep dive into luxury tomorrow morning, so I'm glad you asked that. You asked that question. It's still just as brisk. It's not really massive bidding wars, but there was a home that came up last week that was $799 in Chandler, and as I was getting ready to make an appointment to go down and preview it for an out-of-state client, it was gone. It was gone in one day. It was on the waterfront. Now, he wanted a waterfront home in Chandler. Guess what? There were only 2. So the 800,000 market, as long as the stock market is performing like it is right now, that market's going to continue to do well. It used to be that anything over $1 million had average days on market from 9 months to 12 months. It took a long time. Now you're wrapping them up pretty quick. Under 400,000, we don't even call it days on market anymore. We call it hours on market. And as a reminder, when you look at days on market, it's always going to be between 30 and 40 days, because unfortunately they count that number as the day it went under contract to the day it closed. So it might have gone under contract in just a few hours or one day. But then the clock is still ticking until the time it comes through and records. It's officially closed. That's always between 30 and 40 days. So unless it's a cash offer, you can get those done in a week. But that's not really a good number to see how brisk the market is going. So, and you don't have any access to how long it takes to sell a home. I know that when I look and it says 0 for days on market, that means it just got listed, and you want to jump on those as fast as you possibly can. But above 800,000, there are some nice choices, and you'll see tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to do from 800 to 1 million and then above 1 million. And we're going to look in the luxury markets, which are Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, and portions of Central Phoenix. I don't know if you're very familiar with Central Phoenix, and then down in some areas down in Chandler and Gilbert. There's some great communities down there in the luxury market. Another market that I'm going to dive into later in the week is the historic district. I think while people concentrate on a lot of the suburbs and stuff, I don't think they realize what a vibrant historic district that we have in Phoenix. Some really cool neighborhoods. Next question here. How do you feel about luxury in Fountain Hills? Well, I lived in Fountain Hills for 2 years. I had an amazing view of the fountain and the superstitions. Fountain Hills is all about the views. And the luxury market up there, I mean, you just can't go wrong. They're just absolutely gorgeous. We used to walk down this canyon and go for walks and just marvel at the homes that are up there. And I mean, you could, if you had to stay home on a lockdown, I couldn't think of a better place to be. The views are incredible. Golf courses are great. How's the market? Same as everywhere. It's still brisk. It's still moving quite well. Again, you don't have bidding wars in the luxury market. You just have what we call strong sales. So I break it down into weak sales, strong sales, frenzied, and I don't even know how to explain it. Right now in the below 600,000, it falls into that category of, I don't even know how to explain it. It doesn't make sense. Well, it makes sense because inventory is so low, but there are no words for it. Fountain Hills, I'm not sure if you've ever been out there or lived there. It's a really neat community. It's has art fairs downtown a lot. It's a sleepy town. There's not a lot of restaurants out there. There's a few that are really good. I like Euro Pizza down by the fountain. It's got a great outdoor patio. But in Fountain Hills, the sidewalks roll up at 8 o'clock at night. I mean, you could lay down and take a nap on the streets there, and nobody's going to run you over after 8:30. So if you're looking for nightlife, you go to Scottsdale. There's just not. It's a big retirement community, and but it's nice. Have a lot of great things to say about Fountain Hills. So any more questions, hit me. I'll be glad to help you. A lot of condos out there as well too, with great fountain views. The outlook for the market right now is hard. There are so many guesses on where it's going to go. Personally, I think it's all going to be tied to the availability of credit. So right now, credit is easily accessible. The banks are plugging along. If anything comes in and gives us a hiccup financially that spikes interest rates or starts a little bit of a credit freeze, that will start to affect housing. Do I see anything down the road? Yeah, I see a lot of things that could happen, that could go wrong. But then again, that's anybody's guess, so I really don't know. We have Terry says, I'm in the over 55 market in Sun City. They have a capital improvement fee for over $3,000 and many other fees. Homes are 40 to 50 years old, floor plans. I think these things are making that market slow. Yeah and no, Terry. Sun City and Sun City's older than Sun Lakes, and I agree with you. Some of those homes are really old. Their capital improvement fee is very high. And what a capital improvement fee is so I can talk explicitly about Sun Lakes a little bit. They built a brand new, not clubhouse, but exercise facility. So capital improvement fees are on top of your HOA fee, and it's meant to raise money to do capital improvements for the buildings that they have. They have a budget that they have to maintain roads, maintain landscaping, maintain their clubhouses, but the capital improvement is to make improvements on buildings. And retirees do want newer 55 communities, Terry. I agree. And you will find those out in Australia and Vistantia. And there's a really cool one out in Gilbert. What the heck? Trilogy. Trilogy's got some beautiful homes out there. In fact, we're closing on one March 1st in Trilogy. And so if you get a chance, take a look at that neighborhood. Their HOA fees tend to be higher. But you have a lot of clubhouses. I know in Sun Lakes, I've been to their clubhouses for dinner, and the food's great. And but they've got tennis, they got pickleball, they got golf, they've got restaurants. So you get a lot for that association fee. Sun City West is newer than Sun City Central and Grand and stuff. So be prepared when you buy in these over 55 communities that they hit you with a large capital improvement fee and a large transfer fee, somewhere around $1,300. So, there's going to be some cash up front that you're going to go, what the heck? So that's what happens in those markets. We are not seeing any slowdowns at all in the Cromford market. Cromford, and again, I explained that's a mathematician. His name is Michael Orr. So he looks at our sales, and he just does a deep dive in MLS data. And he has an index that if anything's 100, then that's considered a normal market. And right now, Avondale is coming in at 837. That's not very normal. Chandler, 769. It went up 13% in favor of buyers. That's just, there's no way of emphasizing just how tough it is out there for buyers. And unless you're prepared to, get into a bidding war, it's probably a good time to sit it out under $400,000. But having said that, occasionally you run into the person that's selling that is willing to take a full price offer if the terms are good. It's not always about price. One that we sold in Surprise last month, their terms were they had a contingency offer on a new build. They had to have a contract closed in 30 days. So they weren't that concerned if they were going to get multiple offers to grab the best price. They wanted terms. So we sold it at full price because the buyer now listen to this one carefully. The buyer came in not with a pre-qualification, but he had already gone through underwriting. So the only outstanding issue for him was the appraisal. So we knew it would appraise. So we accepted a full price offer. The buyer had the only thing that was meant to left to finish was the appraisal. He had already gone through underwriting, full credit check, ready to go, solid offer. He didn't ask for any closing cost concessions, nothing. The house was clean, passed inspection the first day with flying colors, and we closed 3 days before their due date. So you can bump into those kind of homes. And we only listed it for 1 day because of COVID. So we just did 1 day that you can see this house. We did a coming soon. We did 1 day. That reminds me, let me dive in real quick. I'm going to share this and go to coming soon. I'm going to share some of my frustrations with coming soon. So bear with me just a second. I'm going to share the screen again. Coming soon should be something that's pretty easy to look at, but they're kind of muddy in the water a little bit. So if I go down here to my home screen, and I look at new coming soon listings, there's 834 that aren't on the market. Great. Let's take a look. And I have fast internet connection here. I can imagine doing this with dial-up. So let's skip these these mobile homes. Let's just take a look at something in the 350,000 range. And I look at this and I go, it's supposed to be coming soon. And it says it's active. Active, 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 active. Where's the coming soon, guys? Active, active. It says coming soon, and they got a price range. Here's one here for $349. Well, here's one, let's say 24th Drive. Active, new listing. Let's look at it. When did it go live? Went live on the 6th. Well, that's not coming soon. That was 2 days ago. So I don't know what's going on here. Real estate agents are supposed to put them on, mark them coming soon, and then we get a chance to see that it's going to be coming on the market like on the 10th, and they aren't. So they've muddied that up pretty good. I think that's real estate agents just not staying on top of the coming soon listings and how to update that file. So it doesn't have the nice punch that I thought it would have. So that's about all I've got for this morning, just showing you new listings. Unless anybody has any new questions, like I say, tomorrow morning, we're going to come on and we're going to do luxury market. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to take a look and see how many new listings, how many listings are on board. what the 7-day moving average is. We're going to take a look at the Cromford report. As you stick with us through these live broadcasts, you'll become an expert in what numbers to expect. What number do we expect tomorrow? Somewhere around 4,700. So you're going to be able to know exactly where we're at and what we think we're going to see the next day. Also, YouTube records these and uploads them in a couple of hours. So if you can't make the live event, you'll be able to see this rebroadcast again. And thank you again for jumping in. We've actually got 19 people watching right now. That's fantastic. Love my YouTube subscribers. One more suggestion as I talked to you before you drop off. 2 of you already dropped off. Hold on. Pat and I are offering closing cost incentives for buyers and sellers. Now, Pat can't offer any incentives for sellers, obviously, but I'm offering an $800 selling cost credit for any homes above $400,000 and $500 below $400,000. Pat is offering a $400 appraisal credit. This comes off your closing costs. So you can get up to $1,200 off your closing costs when you purchase. And your lender can do a deep dive. If you get a mortgage broker, there are a lot of lenders out there that are offering incentives for certain loans. And in other words, if the loan is 2.75, if you go up to 2.85, they may offer, $2,500 in closing cost credits. So we have a lot of option to help you with your closing costs going in, and that's why we're throwing these incentives out there. So everybody have a fantastic day and take on the week, will you?